traded mine.
Yeah! That's my dog!
Everybody leave me hanging. Everybody leave me hanging. That's okay.
Don't stand by me, bro. You too damn big.
He stands. He was beyond the line.
No, he wasn't. Go fly. Go fly. That's a glove. That's a glove.
Hey, I'm going to take all the credit for that.
Hey, welcome everyone to the show That the Pros Watch. I'm James Brown. We have been talking about a lot before we even came on air. But let me just say this. After a weekend of some pretty stout defense, Ray, no question about that, a big upset, and unfortunately a head coach getting fired, I asked my guys, what did you learn? But before you speak, Ray, we got to talk to our guy. We love him very much. Brandon is talking about trying to become a professional boxer.
Yeah.
I hosted championship boxing for 12 years.
What does
Brandon know what he's getting into with that?
He has no clue, and that's why your big brother's gonna tell you the truth. Boy, you ain't boxing nobody.
Hey,
You listen here. That's a different
this show
fight.
is about wagers. I got another wager.
What's the wager?
I bet that my boxing career lasts longer than your freaking Dancing with the Stars career. How about that?
You know what?
How about
Easy
that?
bet.
Ray,
Your toe.
I'll take that bet.
I'll take that.
I'll take that bet.
I'll take
You
that
take
bet.
that
But
bet?
the last
Take that
bet
bet.
I'm gonna take. If you get knocked out, I'm handing you the towel.
What's up with all? Y'all don't believe in me?
No, not
No,
in
no,
this-
no. It has
not in this
nothing
sport.
not to believe in you. Hey, Brandon, you can't just drag somebody off the street to go play your position
Right.
in professional football.
Listen,
league.
let me tell you guys this. I understand the boxing culture is built around trash talk and building up fights. I never was a trash talker in football, and I'm not going to start now. So y'all ready to start the show?
No,
or what?
I wanna just
Are
say
y'all
this.
ready? All right, here you go.
Let me hear it.
So last night I'm flying in, right? So I get this amazing Delta seat. I'm watching the game. And last night was less about the 49ers and more about the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, is he serious right now? What a disappointment. Man, I thought that was going to be my game where I, gained some ground in our pick segment, but obviously that didn't.
What are you disappointed
Yeah,
about
you
with
jumped
them?
back on the
Yeah.
Browns bandwagon.
Yeah, I did, and I
But you're
still believe in
disappointed
him. But
because?
It's all
that
about
was
him,
bad.
man.
Look at
It's
that.
all about him.
Look at that. And the last thing, it's a prediction. Did you guys know that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick came in together in 2000?
Yes, I knew that.
So here's my prediction. The Patriots will finish this year undefeated, the regular season undefeated. They will go to the Super Bowl. They will win the Super Bowl, making up for the 2007 season. Belichick and Brady will retire.
Are you sure you haven't started that boxing career already?
Phil, he's talking about. Phil, he everywhere right now. I mean,
You said he all over the place?
This man done jumped from football to boxing.
I mean, you're all
Hey,
over the place.
Ray, wait until
Go ahead,
you
Ray. Tell me
hit
what you
one
learned.
time. Go ahead.
Let me tell you what I learned.
Let's talk some football.
Because everybody keeps talking about, hey, the game is going towards passing and all these records broken. The game went back to old school football, guys. The best defense in football right now is
New England
Patriots, right? We had 9 100-yard rushers. 9, JB. Christian McCaffrey, I'm going to say this up front. Christian McCaffrey is playing football. They always talking about quarterbacks, the MVP. This guy, what he's doing for the Carolina Panthers right now, has to be in the conversation
No
for
question.
NFL MVP.
No question.
So let's get back to old school football. Running
love
the
it.
ball,
2 running
hard-nosed
backs.
defense,
Saw it last
and I'm
night.
going to put some ice packs on
On the back of his head now. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
you do.
Phil.
You do that, and old school football. It's what it's. And what's that about? It's about offensive linemen. If you can run the football, that means you have a good offensive line. You know what happens when you don't have a good offensive line? You don't get in the playoffs. I mean, nobody survives a bad offensive line in the NFL. Deshaun Watson, he has one now. No sacks, didn't get hit, and he went out there. And you know what he did as a kid? You know what he was? They played the Atlanta Falcons. He was an Atlanta Falcons ball boy.
That's right.
So how sweet was that victory for him? And I heard this a lot last week. What's the NFL going to do? Because we got all the old quarterbacks, Breeze, Manning, who else is Phillip Rivers. When they retire, whatever, you know what's going to happen? The NFL is just going to keep on rolling. Because the league is.
What do you mean the NFL is going to keep on rolling? Is it
Well,
the
people
game
think
built around the NFL, the quarterbacks?
Well, that's what they think. What are we
that
going
what
to do
you
when all
think?
these quarterbacks? No, I didn't. Are you listening to me?
I am, but
I'm being
sounds like-
sarcastic.
You're right.
I don't
You're right.
want to hear it. The
You're
league
right.
is loaded at quarterback.
Hold on, Ray
it's going to be
Ray
fine.
is right about our guy Brandon.
He should,
Hey,
man.
Ray, Fat boys in boxing with quick hands, what does that spell? That spells dangerous, doesn't it?
Danger.
Thank you. Oh, my gosh.
Stay away from
Time
the
for the highlights, and Phil insists that we kick off. Phil, by the way, insisting that we kick off the show with congratulations to Steve Smith Sr. This weekend, he was inducted into the Carolina Panthers Hall of Honor. Take a look.
I never thought I'd be able to wear a Carolina Panther jersey ever again. So I thought, for one last time,
That was great.
That's good, man.
You know what?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good
Thank you.
stuff, man.
Well deserved.
Absolutely.
So let me tell you what I learned.
Talk to us.
I learned Phil
Right?
is not going to hit those 20 pull-ups.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
You're not. I already see it. I'm looking at you. I love you, Ray, but how's your toe? What you laughing at? Because all we're going to do on Showtime is do two things. Watch Inside the NFL and watch you get your ass whooped. Ain't no way.
Here, the Carolina Panthers
He's the therapist. He
hosting
came
the
in.
Jacksonville
The only
Jaguars.
sane one here.
Through 5 weeks, no player has more yards from scrimmage than Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey is so explosive once he has the ball in his hand. Handoff goes to McCaffrey, middle crowded, stiff arm takes it to the right, and he leaps and somersaults into the end zone for the touchdown.
He good. That boy good. Oh, my God.
Allen pumps once, now goes over the middle, McCaffrey to the 10, the 5, touchdown, Carolina Panthers. Handoff up the middle, McCaffrey running free, unbelievable.
You ain't catching him. Goodbye. Goodbye.
McCaffrey takes it home.
Christian's like Jack. That motherfucker turn into it all.
He can do it all, except play defense.
Minshew is knocked down, picked up by the Panthers. This could be a touchdown. To the 10, the 5-yard line, into the end zone, Burns, touchdown, Carolina.
Leading by a point in the fourth quarter, the Panthers added their third touchdown of over 50 yards.
Cuts right, 40 to the 30, the 20. Can you believe it? Reggie Bonifant scores a touchdown.
Hey, good game, boy.
36-year-old Zach Taylor was looking to squeeze out his first NFL win.
Come on, baby. Bring some juice. Let's go. Bring some juice, Carlos. Come on, man.
Cliff Kingsbury was also looking to taste his first victory, and his rookie quarterback helped Arizona take a 2-touchdown lead.
4th and 2 on the 6-yard line. Handoff Johnson up the middle. No, it's a fake. Murray keeps it running left to the 5, and Murray dives for the touchdown. What an incredible fake by Kyler Murray.
Hey, let's go do this. We got there's plenty of time.
Cincinnati's comeback started with 4 minutes left.
Touchdown to Auden Tate.
Good job. Hey, we're going to go do it again now. We're going to go do it again and win this game.
The Bengals trailing by 7 points.
Everybody's up.
Dalton back to throw. The protection is good. Fires deep downfield. Boyd is open. He catches it and runs into the end zone for a Bengals touchdown. Oh, yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Great call.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice job, baby. We're going to get this ball back and win this game.
The Bengals never saw the ball again, as Kyler Murray danced into field goal range.
Straight ahead, he's got the 35, cuts right to the 30, loose on the 25-20, and down to the 15-yard line. The snap's good. The ball's down. The kick is up. The kick is good. The first win of the Cliff Kingsbury era.
Congrats on the first one, man. Yep,
Hey,
we'll get it
appreciate
going.
it. Yeah, y'all will.
Great job, man. That way, keep going.
Aaron Rodgers had never lost at AT&T Stadium. And for almost 3 quarters, Green Bay felt right at home.
Rifles it over the middle through the hands of Cooper. Intercepted. Jair Alexander. A leaping interception by Chandon Sullivan.
Packers Nation found a new star in Texas. Former UTEP running back Aaron Jones refused to be corralled by the Cowboys defense. He finished with 182 total yards and scored 4 touchdowns.
Here's the handoff. Jones bouncing left to the outside, makes the turn, touchdown!
And the Packers are playing games with the Cowboys that the Cowboys can't answer.
With just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter, the Packers led 31-3.
31 points? Are you kidding me? Don't look at the scoreboard. Play.
Dak Prescott tried to mount a comeback and threw for a career-high 463 yards.
Gallup, a tremendous fight for the ball, and bangs his way in for the touchdown. Read option handoff. Elliott pulls forward. Touchdown, Cowboys.
It's not over. It ain't over yet. Not over. It ain't over yet.
Now deep down the left side, there's Cooper at the 30. Left sideline to the 20. Broke the tackle to the 10. Walks in for the touchdown.
Cowboys creep back to within 10.
With 1:41 left, Dallas was a chip shot away from closing within 7.
It is no good. No good. He missed it to the right. Dare I say dagger?
Say it.
Dagger.
Okay.
I love this place, man. Never lost here. Never lost.
Wow, the announcer was really into that one. Hey, you know what? As Soul to Soul once sang respectively for the Panthers and for the Cowboys, it's back to life, back to reality. Hypothetical situation. Teddy Bridgewater, by the way, he got him on the show a couple weeks ago. Awesome young man. Love him. If, in fact, the Saints win out with Bridgewater at the helm, Drew Brees comes back, who's starting?
Hey, Teddy, great job. Give me that ball back. And they're going to hand it to Drew Brees. Drew Brees is going to start.
Definitely. Drew Brees.
It's definitely going to be Drew Brees, but they say give it one more week and let's make sure it's really healthy. That could be the only scenario.
Okay, so here's the next one. Kyle Allen, the backup quarterback in Carolina.
Right.
He continues to play well. They're 3-0 with him at the helm right now. They went out. Cam Newton comes back. Who gets the job?
Cam Newton gets a job, but take 2 weeks and really let that thing get a little better. I think the way they're winning and whatever, they're going to really make sure Cam Newton is absolutely 100% and be the guy that he was when he played.
Steve Smith has never.
Are you boxing?
He's never run away from a tough question. Go ahead, Steve.
No, what do you mean?
Who gets the job, Steve?
Talking to you.
Are you serious?
Hey, it's hard to go. It is hard to not go with the hot hand. And when you look at what's going on in Carolina, it's unfortunate that Cam Newton has not been fully healthy. But when you look at this offense and what's going on, if you disrupt things, what does it do? And I'm not sure that they necessarily would go with Cam Newton because here's why.
Why?
Shoulder.
Right.
Foot.
Right.
All of those things have happened, and he's getting older. And
But if he's healthy when he comes back, and everything you just said, that would be applicable to New Orleans as well. So what's the difference?
Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. That's the difference.
Yeah, good point.
I love Cam. Cam is an X factor, but when you look at the last 2 years, disappointment. And it's not just him, it's just the Carolina Panthers. So when you have a team that's 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, Cam's ready to come back, you got to roll with that. I love Cam, but you can't put him back in there.
Here's the big thing that people are missing. When you go back to that Thursday night football game, Coach Ron Rivera said Cam's foot had nothing to do with why they called that play.
Right.
Why is that important? Because Cam Newton, unfortunately, is no longer the best player on the team. You know who is?
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. That team goes as Christian McCaffrey goes. Each quarterback that plays has a different security blanket. And Cam Newton's security blanket is Greg Olsen. You know who Kyle Allen's security blanket is? Christian McCaffrey. And look how well they're doing. Christian McCaffrey is making historical numbers. He's doing things in a manner that really we haven't seen since a guy like what? Well, Marshall Faulk, some of those guys, Jim Brown, all these guys.
Who is very much in the MVP discussion, as you
said.
Hold on. But from a quarterback perspective, talk to us. What are you seeing is the difference between these two spots?
Well, you know, I think we've talked about this before. When you have the backup quarterback come in and they do well, it gives the team, it gives them a certain energy. I think we've seen that with both of these teams. The defense, they know they got a backup quarterback in there too. I think that stimulates them. Luke Kuechly and Shaq Thompson, my gosh, they're tackling machines over there. Their front, the Carolina has a good front four. They got a lot of positive things, and they can win even without Cam Newton, which we have seen.
We're back to the Cowboys now, and I understand we need context. We shouldn't just jump on 1 week, but is it back to reality with the Cowboys after they started so well? What's the deal with the Dallas?
It's back to reality. You know, they played 2 tough teams. You got to be disappointed in the way they played both of those games.
What is their reality?
Offensive line? The offensive line didn't dominate, and their defensive line didn't dominate, and that's what the team is built around.
Good question.
What's their reality? Because to me, they just played against a really good team. They shouldn't have beat the Saints last year. And they definitely wasn't going to beat the Saints this year with what they're doing on that defense side of the ball as of recently, right? So when you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, this is football. It's any given Sunday, especially when you got 2 heavy hitters in the NFC going head-to-head.
Okay, I'll just say this real quick. You built the team around the defensive pass rush. It's not been what everybody thinks. And the offense is about, we're going to run you over with Zeke Elliott. I know he just came into camp late and all that. The running game is not the same.
Correct.
So if your 2 most important units on your team are not living up to what they're going to be, that is the reality right now.
Real quickly, are the Cowboys title contenders in your book?
Absolutely not. It is a race to November. Here's why. We all know there's a probationary period when you get your job. September is the fool me month. October is the prove it. And it's a race. And if you can show through November that you're good, you can start getting benefits in November.
Ooh, there you go. Man, put him in the administration now. Talking about NFL reality, here's the biggest upset of the season so far. Frank Reich continues to do a marvelous job with the Indianapolis Colts, and they went on the road and upended the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs.
The storm coming. The storm coming. You prepared though? Yeah. They got one guy over there, bro. We got the whole team.
At first, it seemed like this would be a back-and-forth rematch of last year's divisional round playoff.
Trying to take advantage of the weakness of the Chiefs' defense, and that's the ground game.
I know he's not good.
Good at run. Rolling right side of Jacoby Brissett. Touchdown, Jacoby Brissett.
Push it. They can't handle that.
Mahomes in trouble again, spinning right, left, now turning back to the right. He'll sprint and fires it left for the end zone. Touchdown!
Go, baby. Off day.
Hey, great job making the play. Hey, I'm going to take all the credit for that.
Give the Colts defense credit. Patrick Mahomes couldn't find open receivers as he was under constant pressure.
And the Chiefs' offensive line getting overpowered.
Step it up!
With Mahomes hobbling on a bad ankle, Indianapolis didn't have to put up many points. 4 field goals put the game out of reach, as the Chiefs had their lowest point total since Mahomes became their starting quarterback.
We know one emotion we aren't feeling right now. Shock.
I doubt it!
I know why? Because you could feel it all stinking week. You could feel it all week starting on Wednesday. The defense was unbelievable on Wednesday, and that showed up today, right?
Wow, that is great stuff. I'd be excited, too, if I was Frank Reich going in there. Everybody thought they had no chance. We're in Ray's film room right now with Steve Smith here to help us out. And, Ray, tell us how the Kansas City Chiefs, how their offense couldn't do what they usually do against the Indianapolis Colts defense.
One of the key things that we heard, guys, very soon was from Frank Reich. He said what? You saw this on defense in practice.
Okay.
Tell people all the time, we watch the game, but we don't understand it starts from practice. Watch this four-man rush. Watch what Justin Houston knows about this offense. Watch what he does to this left side tackle. When you take a guy like Pat Mahomes with his type of skill, you have to press the pocket from the inside to make him get out of there. Because if he sits in the pocket, he can make any throw ever. They're in a four-man rush, Phil.
Why is that important?
Because it's the one thing he can't step up and make the throw.
Okay.
Anytime that you take that away from them, they can't step into the pocket and make that throw.
One other question for you.
Yeah.
What do you do against their defense? Everybody, Indianapolis is a big zone team.
Nah, you play man-to-man.
Man-to-man.
I'm going to show you something about this man-to-man. Watch this. Four men. But I want you to watch this middle linebacker. Now, they're going to do all of this, parading and window dressing. Watch this linebacker. Makes a play. Makes a play. Look at everybody's covered. 1, 2, 3. Anybody that's sitting at home that want to know how to play defense, this is how to play defense against the Kansas City Chiefs. You must man them up, Steve, because if you put
eyes on your luggage.
Keep your eyes on your luggage, and that's one thing man coverage does.
That was a great job by the linebacker.
That was a great job by the middle linebacker.
Did not get fooled by all the motion and everything going on.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest keys to stopping Kansas City, something that we haven't talked about, was anytime you remove Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill,
good point,
it changes the game. And that's why Kelsey should have been a bigger factor in winning these one-on-one battles, which he didn't win many.
He did.
And he was complaining about a lot of holding.
Okay.
But these guys done a great job. Watch this play. Once again, four-man rush. It's crucial to be able to rush these men four-man. But watch how they zone him on the backside, Steve. Watch this. Rat man. Steve, you can take over from me.
So right here,
look at this rat man.
But look, go ahead, Steve.
So here's the thing that the Lions did a great job for the week before. They showed us the blueprint. What's the blueprint? You rush 4 or 3, keep everything in front of you, lock these guys up. Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill did not play. And those two guys, to some degree, run very good routes. But when you notice this, these guys aren't running routes. They're running to an area. And here's the problem. When you have speed on speed and you do not have the ability to route somebody up, I call it a PhD in route running. But these guys only have 2 routes. A deep over, and what are they running? An over does not require skill. All that it requires is you to run to a landmark, and your MVP quarterback throws it, and you outrun your guy. But these guys aren't. They're not outrunning people, and 2, they're not routing them up. All they're running is overs and speed. They're not running slant and goes. They are not running anything that makes the defense scared of them.
Colts learned a lot from the playoff game. Matt Patricia, let's see, he coached in New England. So they kind of knew the formula, and Indianapolis copied it. Here's one more play.
Steve just said it again. Back to the four-man rush. Look how many men. And the red zone gets shorter now. That's one thing about the red zone.
Here's the thing. You got an isolation right here.
Who must win?
Who must win. Then you have these 3 guys. There should be some kind of route combination where one of these guys, these 2 guys are running something that allows you to what we call ships in the night, that make these guys, the defenders, think. They're not going to run any routes that are going to woo you because they don't have the PhD. You know what they have in route running?
Talk to me.
Here we go. Let's see what they do. Go ahead. Let's go.
GEDs.
Watch this. Watch this middle linebacker. Watch the play. Just watch how the play develops. Follow his man, but look at the pocket.
Look at the routes.
Look at the pocket. Anytime he has to move, Steve, you're so correct on the routes. They're just running routes.
All they're doing is running to an area. In the red zone, you can't run to an area. You know what? There's like these young, fast wide receivers are like they're going to a bakery, and all they're getting is powdered donuts. Who the hell wants powdered donuts?
Do the Chiefs have to change their offense a little, or they just keep it the same and wait for everybody to get healthy?
Well, Andy Reid does a great job of manufacturing offenses, getting some things and getting his guys out in space. But teams generally catch up with him by midseason. So now he needs to operate and allow these young men to run some real routes.
From a defensive side, if it was me, I'm telling you this, they have to figure out how to address their offensive line. Both tackles, left and right tackles, got beat to sleep the other night. And that's going to be a problem going forward because anytime you can make Pat Mahomes run out of the pocket like that, he's not effective.
All right, here in a minute, you're going to host your own segment. Are you excited? You nervous? Huh? He's going to be on it with you.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
All right, hey, let's go now to the highlights, the Gruden brothers doubleheader.
Hey,
good job there.
Are those orthopedic? What is that?
Hey, man, leave
No,
that
you know
man
they're on the
alone.
floor now, but I know where I'd like them to be.
Whoa! I know what that means. Let me get between.
In their final game under Jay Gruden, the winless Redskins took an early lead over the undefeated Patriots.
Cuts it right to the 45. Out of a tackle down the right sideline, gone. 25-20, 15-10, 5 to the end zone.
But the Patriots scored 33 unanswered points. Bill Callahan was named interim head coach of the Redskins, while nothing really seems to change in New England.
Welcome, everybody, from Tottenham Stadium in London.
Play for the man in frame behind you. We're going to go out here and bust their ass from start to finish, man.
He comes over to the left. It's a toss play. Jacobs going to run behind him. Got daylight. 5, 4, 3. End zone. Touchdown. Jacobs breaks through.
Hey, 10 plays, 90 yards, right down there. Throw. How do you like that now?
Here comes Washington slant. End zone. Touchdown. Raiders.
I don't know what y'all have for breakfast, but you need it. Hey, y'all rolling tonight. Hey, this ain't going to be pretty the way we got to finish this out.
The Bears trailed 17-0.
Daniel dancing around but staying in there. Floats it down the right sideline. The pass is caught. Wow, Anthony Miller with a grab.
But scored 3 touchdowns in the third quarter.
Daniel going to arch it down the right side into the end zone. Pass caught. Touchdown, Allen Robinson.
Before the Raiders retook the lead.
Here comes Jacobs. Jumps, dives over the top. Touchdown.
Let's go!
Late in the fourth quarter, the Bears had a chance for a go-ahead touchdown.
Clock running. They throw to an open man left at midfield. Running out of bounds for a first down is Cohen. Here's Chase back into the gun. He's hit on a release. Up in the air. Intercepted. Picked up by Conley. Conley's got it. And the Raiders upset the Bears.
Hey, listen, I don't have a disco in here. I don't have a disco. Let's all start dancing.
You know what? He should have been on Dancing with the Stars.
You like this? You like the moves?
No,
Do it. One time, do it.
What?
Disco dancing for John Gruden in London, followed by, unfortunately, a pre-dawn firing for his brother Jay in Washington. Should we believe in the silver and black? And on the other side of the coin, where does the burgundy and gold go from here?
I'm just going to start out with this. The silver and black, John Gruden, I'll give him this. They have played very hard. They're tough. He went out there. He's not Mr. Pass Happy. He's about running the football. He built a really good offensive line. Their defensive line is young. I'm not saying it's great, but, man, they get after it. And they dominated the Chicago Bears physically the whole game.
The bottom line is people are getting back to old school football. And one thing about distractions, right? They can go both ways, right? So you take the Antonio Brown distractions, you take the Burfict, you take all of these distractions. Some teams rally around that. And if you watch the Raiders in London playing against the Chicago Bears, man, they rallied. Like them boys came there to say, we are winning this game regardless on what we're going through. So the Raiders, I'm telling you, John Gruden has those boys, and I think there's enough guys, in the locker room that's saying, listen, block out all these distractions and let's play football. And I think they showed.
Hey, you guys have a fraternity, and of course, Khalil Mack was on the other side of the coin.
There you go.
Did that fire him up as well?
Oh, listen, wait, not only, hold on now.
Right.
Not only fire him up, like that's what the dance was about. This is personal.
JB, they double-teamed. They did everything they could to Khalil Mack to make sure he was not going to be a factor in that game, and they did a great job.
Everything.
No Khalil Mack, no Amari Cooper, no Antonio Brown. It's forcing who? Derek Carr to step up. Derek Carr, man, not only what he's doing physically, but what he's doing mentally to rally his troops is phenomenal. They keep this up, man. They can get into the playoffs because you look at what's going on in their division.
AFC West.
Right? Like, the Chargers are struggling.
Yep.
They got the Broncos, right? Like, this is up for grabs. And
Kansas City just showed a little chink in the armor.
Correct.
Hey, fellas, so now, on the other side of the coin, the infrastructure, the culture in Washington, D.C. with the burgundy and gold. What's going on?
Well, you know, look, a lot of things. They're one of those teams every year. There's just injuries just ruin their football team, it seems like it does with the Los Angeles Chargers.
But a lot of people rally from that now.
I know, but Trent Williams, a really good player, really good tackle. He's not there because he's worried about how they treated him with a head injury. So that's bad. And then you have the general manager, Kirk Cousins, is playing some pretty good football down. And they have a interview, and he calls him Kurt, not even calls him by his name. So I don't know that always.
Which says what to you, Phil?
Well, it just says dysfunction. Why would you do that to your starting quarterback or who you think is going to be there? And it just sends a bad message to your whole football team.
Before I go to both of you, take a look at these numbers here in Washington. Look at the number of head coaches there. Look at the record. Ray, you helped that culture in Baltimore big time. What does that say to you?
Yeah, so you know what it says, guys, and honestly, like, this is where I say a lot of people don't understand when I say leadership. Leadership is not a every other game. Leadership is a lifestyle, right? And if you think about the Washington Redskins of all those years, right? I'm talking about I went to Redskins and played them every year. Who was that one guy on the field that rallied everybody together? Because the front office has always been going through things, right? Coaches have been interchangeable, this and that. I went through, 9 linebacker coaches, however many. But the core of my leadership was empowering my men. So that when we stepped on the field, we put out the right display.
Right. You guys are talking about leadership on the field, and that's not where it starts, right? That starts at the top, right? So you look at Dan Snyder, okay, he's the owner. We can't do much there. Bruce Allen's been there for 10 years. Why didn't he get the can? Why is he still there, right? So if I'm a player in that locker room right now, every time I see Bruce Allen, I walk down, I'm looking at him like, you should be next. You should have been right there with Jay.
Most great teams always had an on-the-field leader. I do not believe it just starts up top. You're
100% right. But when you're looking at this situation, go back to what you said, Phil. Kirk, like that's your president, that's your general manager, right?
Good point.
Okay, so he's making those decisions. To me, that's when they lost. That's why they're in this mess.
Got a closing thought, Phil?
No, not really. We got a great leader here, don't you think? So we got a great culture.
Hey, look, I'm a native Washingtonian. I know we're supposed to be impartial. Brandon did say that.
Yeah, I know he did.
That's behind the scenes, and I still love him. I don't want him in the box. But anyway, I'm hurting because of what's happening in Washington.
Yeah.
Big time with the burgundy and gold. Let's get back to the highlights. Brandon wants to see me knocked out. We begin with two squads that know a lot of negative headlines and media scrutiny. Here are the Vikings. Gosh, Brandon just got finished talking about the aforementioned Kirk Cousins at the New York Giants.
After 2 wins and 2 starts, Daniel Jones was giving the Giants a closer look into their future.
Looking for Slayton, who makes the catch for the touchdown. What a catch by Slayton, and what a throw by Jones.
This is exactly why Dave Gettleman thought this kid could be a difference maker.
Don't be satisfied. You done. I need another one out there.
The Giants cashed out on Danny Dimes' only touchdown, but the Vikings' defense was money.
Handoff, element, safety.
Last week, Adam Thielen called out Kirk Cousins.
Cousins out of the shotgun, back to pass for Thielen to the end zone. Touchdown!
This week, Cousins kept calling Thielen's number.
Fires to the end zone, and it's caught by Thielen. Yes! Touchdown, Adam Thielen!
Yeah, that's my dog.
It's great to see the Cousins-Thielen connection starting to gel again.
Hey, it takes everybody. We all making plays.
Hey, man. Big, how you doing? Good to see you, man.
Doing all right.
Yeah. Your boys are, man, hard as hell now.
Yeah.
It's going to turn, Vic. I just hope it's not today.
Immovable objects meet unstoppable force. Behind the physical force of Phillip Lindsay, the Broncos rushed for a season-high 191 yards.
Lindsay behind Flacco. They run it left. Lindsay cuts back. Lindsay to the goal line. Touchdown, Denver.
Denver took a 17-0 first-half lead.
Flacco throws wide open receiver Sutton at the 45. He pulls away. Sutton down the sideline. 30, 25, 20-foot race to the goal line. Touchdown, Denver.
Somebody take charge of it. Let's get this on the round. 2 drives in a row. Let's go. Let's score. We got to score. All right? Well, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, baby.
Oh, we gotta make it easy. Always gotta make it easy. Here we go.
King back to field this punt.
Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave.
Has a lead. 45, 50, 40. Yard return.
Special teams, we're going to score on the board. Special teams. We're running out of time, baby.
The offense going to have to do it. Going to have to do it in a hurry. Well over the head of Gordon.
And this one is over. And Vic Fangio wins his first game.
Good job, man.
Thank you, man.
Good job. Good luck. All right, man. Hey, man. How you doing? Good job, man. All right.
Bill O'Brien's offense exploded against the Falcons, led by Deshaun Watson's 426 yards passing.
Nice job! Guys, we may have to get a little aggressive. You got to be Peyton Manning and get right up there and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Watson threw 5 touchdowns for a Peyton-perfect passer rating.
Third and 4. I got you. We're going Tito's. He wants Tito's. Zach to gun Brown right, Clover, 74 Tito's. Possible chill. Gun Bonsai right, chill, go. Gun Jeezy right. Tony Gonzalez. You like this call? They love it.
He may not be Tony Gonzalez, but tight end Darren Fells had 2 touchdowns for the Texans. Will Fuller had 217 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Fuller across the 10, 5, rock and roll, touchdown! Fuller with the hat trick, 3 touchdown catches.
There's your out and up.
Matt Ryan threw for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Calvin Ridley, touchdown Atlanta.
Pick it!
But his late interception finished the Falcons.
That's picked up, taken to his left, gets it 50, 45 of Atlanta, cuts to the right, the 40, the 30. Pick 6, icing on the cake, game over.
And we've got to get back to work and have a great week of practice and go to Kansas City and get ready to go. All right, great win.
Oh boy, they finally give old Sugar Ray a chance to host. Here we go.
Let's
yes,
see.
sir. Come on, I'm coming up. I'm coming up in the world. Highlights was good, and old Sugar here now. But now we're going to do this grab bag.
Woo.
This grab bag. All right, guys, here we go. Hey,
good.
calm down, Phil. Calm down. It's my turn now. Who is the worst trash talker you've ever played against?
Ooh,
Phil, this is a great one back. You probably going to say Dick Buckers as long as you
missed
play.
it. Phil is the worst trash talker.
Who is the worst trash talker you ever played, Phil?
Oh, my gosh. Well, Lawrence Taylor was the best trash talker for our team, who I played against. Reggie White would say things, but you couldn't talk back to him because he would knock you out if you did.
Right.
So I would say, yeah, Reggie White was pretty good.
Reggie White, wow.
The preacher, he was rough.
Who was yours, Steve?
Trash talker?
Trash talker that you ever played against. You was always the trash talker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the problem.
I was trying not to.
Nobody couldn't talk because you was talking.
I plead the fifth.
He didn't trash talk. Everything was serious with him. I would say Phillip Rivers.
Oh, yeah, Phillip Rivers.
Phillip, you know what? I take it back. Phillip actually is annoying.
He's annoying. Like
Yes.
he doesn't curse, right? He's like, oh yeah. Like Phil, that's not doing anything.
I think for me it's probably Eddie George or Jerome Bettis.
Really?
Oh, boy, those two. My goodness.
Ray. Charles Haley, I forgot him. Scary.
Charles Haley.
He was scary.
Got it. All right. This is a great question. Who would win a boxing match between Brandon Marshall or Phil Simms?
Oh, gee.
Hey,
come on. I
This
boxed
is
a
on
little.
cable TV.
I boxed a little. I went 2 and 3.
I'm going to just say, I think Phil will whoop your ass. I'm talking about just mollywhopping, head to toe.
The only problem Phil may have is your length.
Listen, I said it earlier. I didn't talk trash playing football. I'm not going to start now. I'm going to start now.
I'm talking about this would be fit. This Brandon. Just molly.
Let's go to the next one. Is Christian McCaffrey the best all-around running back in the NFL?
Man, you got to say yes.
Really?
You got to say yes. It makes you turn
Absolutely.
on the TV.
Really?
He's on pace for 1 billion catches and 3 trillion rushing yards. He's
Better than Alvin Kamara?
He's on pace.
Yeah.
The Drew Brees effect is affecting Alvin Kamara. I know because I got him on my fantasy team.
Oh, geez. I like them both.
I like
right
them
now,
both.
Christian McCaffrey, hottest running back in the league.
1,000%. Who is your idol growing up? Every person at home sitting there want to know this. Who was your idol growing up?
Roger Staubach and Terry Bradshaw.
Wow.
And of course, when I was really young, it was Jim Brown.
I thought you.
I played against the. Oh,
I
man.
thought he was
Somebody's talking.
I thought he was
in
going
your
to
ear.
say Edison. He was going to say Edison.
Man.
Who was George Washington?
Go ahead, take it.
Two more. We got to go quick on this. If you were the commissioner for a day, what is the one thing you would change in the NFL?
Ooh.
Man.
I need it quick.
Guaranteed contracts for the players.
Guaranteed contracts for
Yes.
the players? Okay.
Every single club, the mental health practitioner needs to be right next to the strength and conditioning coach.
Steve?
He needed. He needed.
Sorry,
He needed.
I
mean, when you put me on the spot.
What is it?
If you was the NFL commissioner, what would you do? What rule would you change?
I actually would bring back all the throwback jerseys for every team.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
That's mine.
That's the
Don't
best you
judge
can
me.
do?
That's the best I can do. You know what?
You would not be the commissioner.
My commissioner is like your dance career.
The last question.
Short-lived.
The last question of the day, guys, is I'm trying to figure this out. Why is Phil Simms avoiding this pull-up challenge?
I ain't avoiding crap.
So why you ain't did it yet, Phil?
Well, you know, I'll tell you why. Because Steven Espinosa, who is our boss, he's cheap, and he won't bring in a pull-up bar that'll hold my big butt.
Well, listen here. I'm done with y'all. Thank you for this. Thank you for this.
Hey, you did a good job hosting.
I appreciate you, bro. Listen, back to the highlights. Seattle hosting the Rams. Here we go.
Ray is so happy.
Hey,
oh,
Ray
my God.
can read, too.
Whatever it takes, man, all day. Locked in, tuned in. Let's go. One play at a time. Let's go dominate. Whatever it takes. Hey, we ran in division last year. We got to get this. Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
After losing 6 of their last 8 games to the Rams, Seattle was looking for a win against their division rival.
Has time, still surveying the field. Now he rolls left, now he scrambles. Now he's going to throw to the back of the end zone. Reaching up, making the catch. Did he get his feet in it? In. Touchdown, Seahawks. Drops back, going to throw it deep. Got a man, it's Metcalf. He's out there. Touchdown, Seahawks.
I see you, baby. Good stuff, man. That's what he dominated. Great job, man.
Russell Wilson played lights out, but Jared Goff gave LA the spark it needed.
Fires middle, caught by Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, LA.
That's a good drive. Let's go. Woo!
The game had 6 lead changes.
Quick throw near side, David Moore. Makes one man miss. He is in. Touchdown, Seahawks. Touchdown, Todd Gurley.
Good. And
against the Seahawks, good wasn't good enough.
Looks wide open. Chris Carson catches it twice. Touchdown, Seahawks. Draw past time, throws inside, almost picked off again. Wait a minute. He bobbled the ball, but it never touched the ground. That's a pick. The Seahawks can wind this bad boy down.
Trailing 30-29, the Rams took over on their own 7 with 1:38 remaining.
Pocket punctured. He throws middle. Everett to catch at the 40. Gerald Everett takes the Rams into game-winning field goal range.
And so now it comes down to the foot of Greg Zuerlein. Zuerlein, almost always money, gets this one away. It's up, and it's no good! Greg Zuerlein misses it! And the Seahawks are gonna dodge a bullet!
The weather was ugly, and the forecast called for a defensive showdown. But it's been mostly sunny skies for Buffalo this season, and they scored the only points of the first half in Nashville.
Allen wants to throw it. Off play action. Got a man wide open. Lee Smith caught. Touchdown.
Of course he was wide open. You have your offensive lineman running around in an 85 uniform. I'm just kidding.
How long was that ball in the air? About 2 days? Why go so hot? Please just come down, ball. Hey, no fantasy points for that falling down.
Let's go, Pips. That's what we work for right here. Come on, pad level, pad level. Dominate the line of scrimmage. Work together to earn it. Right now.
Tennessee battled back and tied the game at 7 in the third quarter.
Touchdown! Tight!
4 missed field goals and 2 called back touchdowns had Mike Vrabel and the Titans flustered. The Bills earned their 4th win with a 4th quarter touchdown.
Fires into the end zone. Touchdown. Duke Williams. Touchdown Buffalo. His first NFL touchdown, and it could not have come at a better time.
The process continues, baby, right? Humble and hungry. Humble and hungry.
Here we go. Monday Night Football.
We're gonna ride with who we came with. You get a chance to get out there and make an impact, you make it.
Mayfield up in the pocket. Got to get out of there. Rolls to the right. Looking downfield. Fires for Ricky Seals-Jones, and he caught it. Richard Sherman on the coverage. And it's going to get challenged. I don't think he got the left foot down. Wipes out a 31-yard gain.
Why y'all make us challenge that?
What's up, Richard?
Why you make us challenge this?
In the middle, man. I'm not sure about it myself.
My bad, Kyle. I shouldn't have been that hard.
Things didn't seem that hard for Richard Sherman and the 49ers, on defense or offense.
He may go all the way. He got away from Randall down the left sideline. Touchdown. One play. 83 yards.
Go. Hey, we might get it back to you. Stay ready. Oh, I like that.
And on first down, Mayfield play action. Up in the pocket, throws, and it's going to be picked off. Richard Sherman's got it. As bad a start as you can have.
Money.
In the pocket, throws down the middle. Kittle caught it. Touchdown. He was wide open. And it is not a good night out west.
How old are you? Ageless. That's evident right there.
Brandon picks Cleveland.
Who you pick?
He took Cleveland.
Phil and Ray won the picks. Phil extends his lead, and I dropped to a terrible 8-7.
To the cellar as usual. Here, I'm going to drink a little champagne because it's over. Celebrating.
I'm not going to let you guys influence me anymore.
It's okay. It's okay.
The Browns.
Don't feel pressure.
Right.
Don't feel pressure because Ray just hosted a segment and did really well. Now you're worried about this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Listen,
so
he said
let's
he's
go.
going to take my job in 2 weeks.
I know he did. So let's go. Make it work.
All right, here we go. Since you think that NFL revolves around quarterbacks, let's start with this game.
I never said that.
You did. You definitely said that. We got the Texans and the Chiefs, two of the best young, dynamic quarterbacks right now. Who do you like?
I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs, even with all their injuries, the fact the receivers, Tyreek Hill might play, that would be a big thing. But I think at home, after the loss, that's going to be a motivational factor for them. I take them.
I think Deshaun Watson goes in to Kansas City, and when I saw this defense the other night, they have to fix. They have a lot of problems they have to fix on the defensive side, and I think I'm going to go with J.J. Watt in that defense.
There you go.
I love it. I'm going to gain ground on that guy. Hey, listen, Tyreek Hill, they're at home. This is how champions respond. The Chiefs, to me, are champions. I'm going with the Chiefs. Lions at the Packers. This could be a game, Ray. This could be a game that positions the Lions as one of the elite teams in the NFC. Who do you like, Lions or the Packers? Monday Night Football.
Packers. Packers didn't like that we all went against them. Right. Yeah, the dude hit my dance on the TV and everything. Talking about getting, so play well every week, bottom line. I think, and what Aaron Rodgers is doing, I think if you get Devontae Adams back, hopefully he plays this week. He may not. But if he plays, I think what he has done with that new running back, I'm telling you, Green Bay Packers are hard. They're going to be hard to beat at home. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
I like Detroit, the way they're playing, the way they're organized, the way they've changed their football team. But the Green Bay Packers, I like the Smith brothers rushing the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, everything. If they get some of those defensive backs healthy, they're a very good football team. I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, this is a simple one. A-Rod on Monday Night Football at home. I'm going with the Packers as well. We got the 49ers at the Rams. Big game.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one because I think I would pick the 49ers if they were at home. But the Rams have dropped the last two. I don't think they can lose 3 in a row in L.A. So I'm going to have to lean with it on the Rams.
Two very talented teams. I like the way the Rams are playing, too. They're tough defensively. They're playing that way. They run the football. I think Jared Goff is going to have a chance to throw the football down the field, make plays. I'm taking the Rams.
All right, man, to me, man, the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan and that team, man, they're like heavyweights, right? They see a guy on the ropes, they go finish him. I like Kyle Shanahan. I like 49ers to go.
Somebody going to finish you. That's how
I like Kyle Shanahan. They're heavyweights. They're heavyweights.
Come on. What are you
We're talking about fighting. We're going to Vegas, baby.
Oh, Lord.
Vegas is special. It's a big game.
We won last week.
Redskins at the Dolphins.
Right.
The freaking Redskins are a 3.5-point favorite in Miami.
I'm going to take the Washington Redskins and give you 3.5 points.
I'm going to take the Washington Redskins
they have more
and give
talent.
you 3.5 points. Period.
I'm with these guys, man. Hey, I'm going to gain ground on these bums this week.
Really?
Let's go to the last sets of highlights. Ray's Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think Ray's going to take your segment from you.
Hey, he was hot. You did good.
Heinz Field, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, you don't have to say a whole lot more.
But you have to do more to beat a division rival. The Steelers found a way to keep both teams in the game.
Fakes the handoff to the left, runs to the right, throws it, intercepted. Josh Bynes with the interception at the 15-yard line.
Backup quarterback Mason Rudolph was knocked out of the game with an illegal hit late in the fourth quarter. The game went into overtime, where the Ravens marched into field goal range.
Kick on the way. It is long enough, and it is good! Justin Tucker with the winner!
The Saints weren't interested in any shut-eye. They sounded the alarm and gave Jameis Winston a wake-up call with 6 sacks.
Sack from right up the gut.
Welcome to the backfield party.
You get a sack, you get a sack, you get a sack.
All-pro receiver Mike Evans had 0 catches, while the league leader in receptions, Michael Thomas, had 11 for 182 yards.
Touchdown, Mike Thomas! Breaks one tackle, walks into the end zone! Mike Thomas playing like a grown man today.
It was mano a mano. Green versus green. The Birds were flying high against the Jets.
That's 10 sacks. It's a sack party. Clock rolls, now fires, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Gary. Down the sideline goes Nathan Gary. Touchdown, Nathan Gary!
In 11 games, the Eagles have never lost against the Jets.
I come back after being gone for 2 segments. I butcher up the take, and what does Pete Radovich ask? You want Ray to hold the segment? Anyway, hey,
Ray liked to sit in that chair, by the way.
Oh, hey, he can do it well.
Phil, don't speak for me.
That was the last set of highlights, so you know what's next. It is now time for Dear Insiders. Now, because Ray and I both are preachers, I can't say this one word. Dear Brandon,
Oh, wow.
are you blanking for real? Thanks in advance. Fury, Wilder, Ruiz, and Joshua from the gym. Basically, I thought you told us repeatedly on this show, you don't talk trash.
Yeah.
Pete found something. Take a look at this. And
Oh,
tell me
boy.
what the deal is.
About to do unthinkable. Heavyweight champion in the world. A lot of people didn't try and failed. I promise you, Joshua, Wilder, Ortiz, Fury, all them boys, y'all can get it. I'm telling you. Y'all not tough, y'all not strong. Where I come from and what I've been doing in my life, bro, I'm built for this. I promise you that. I'll see you next May.
Steve, as we come back, hey, you know what? If that wasn't trash talking, Mike Tyson's favorite line. Everybody's got a plan in the ring until
they
what
get hit
Steve?
in the mouth.
Till they get hit in a M-O-U-F, mouth.
Mouth. We need it. Brandon, let's pray.
Let me.
You gonna pray with him?
We all need to
Lord, everything out of him that he thought was bad.
Lord, please don't let him get in this ring.
Hey, don't get off me, man. Leave me alone. With common sense, Lord.
Heal him with common sense.
Give him a sense of reality.
Yes, sir.
And you can't call a boxer
Bless
by
my
his
hands,
birth
Father.
name. You
Hey,
call him
bless my
Joshua.
hands.
Hey, listen, when are you going to have like a little sparring session?
Well, Ruiz invited me to camp in 3 weeks. So
Okay,
there's
you gonna go?
So you have a little sparring session?
Andy invited me.
Are you gonna attend?
He sees me as for real. And
Are you gonna attend?
Yes, I am.
I just.
I can't wait to see it.
Yes.
We'll get it filmed.
So yeah, so we're gonna get out there and work. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be good work. And we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Ray, your boy is
Are you gonna
serious,
wear
Ray.
headgear, or you just
Of
going?
course. That's part of being in camp.
My mama gives me a lot of holy
So,
oil.
and also Andy, I talked to Andy about coming on the show as well. So that's part of the deal. That's my
Coming on
first
what
deal
show?
I'm making.
Holy
I'm going
oil.
to go
Talk
out to
to him,
camp.
Ray.
My
in
mama
3
got
weeks,
this
and then he's
holy
gonna
oil.
come on our show.
Before you leave, let me make sure I get this holy oil.
A whole bunch of.
Oh, my God.
Just rub it on your face.
Hey, before we go,
on
time
his
for
Wilder
shout out
can
of the
come
week.
on.
Hey, check this out.
Joshua, come on.
This week it goes to Chargers head
Fury.
coach Anthony Lynn. And it is a demanding job. We know coaches are always on the line, but Lynn is a man of character and integrity. He shows that quality in the NFL and his life. As a matter of fact, this summer, he and his wife Stacy helped to establish a new school in a rural region of Tanzania for approximately 300 kids ages grade K through 3. The Lyns are not trying to change culture there, just help these kids get something that they believe in, because he says they work hard, they are people of tough character for sure, but if you add education to that, they have a chance to do something really special in life. Anthony Lynn, congratulations. What do you guys want to say on
Come
the
on,
way
man.
out?
Come on, man.
Let's
Come
go
on,
pray on it.
Come on, man.
Uh-oh.
Let me see
Oh, here we
something.
go.
Let me
Look
see
at
something.
this.
Stay with me now. Stay with me.
That
Stay with me.
wraps
Stay
it
with
up
me.
for us, folks. We don't want you
I'm
to
gonna come
see
to
the end of this.
Oh no,
We'll see you next week on another edition of Inside the NFL right here on Showtime.
Oh, let's go.